Oh, what's up, dude? Yeah, I don't know what made me think of it. Just out of the blue, I was like, um, I got to do something interesting, and I was like, I'll just reproduce that one image because why not? It's all good fun. At least I hope it is. Yeah, it does kind of seem to fit the theme of everything. I don't think anybody would be reading this would be surprised if they knew what it is. Yeah. And I made a specific effort. I know we were talking about this. I think you were on the stream the other day when I was talking about it, I think. But I was very specific to not look at the original image while I was penciling the initial sketch. So, I would just kind of pull it from my head and not copy it too much. And then once I got it down, I did kind of go back and look at it. I'm like, oh yeah, there's some differences there. It's not me like tracing it off or anything. Might have. I mentioned it at some point, but yeah. I was like, don't get out the original. Don't look at it. Just go off memory. Make it a little bit more interesting was the theory. Es modios de momento. How's it going? Hey, Ginger Bear, if you're still there, have you ever seen Frank Cho's um, office setup where he draws? Have you ever seen any images of that? Um, Now I'm kind of halfway doubting myself, but I seem to remember he's got like this massive, huge desk that he draws on. And I get jealous of things like that. I wish that I had a better setup than I've got here. I can't really complain, but I see some of these artists with this huge desk with all this space, and I feel crammed in here, and I don't know why it just crossed my mind. Uh, I would take his setup any day. I think I've seen it on his social media. If I remember correctly, it's this massive desk. I think I saw where he has such a big drawing desk, and you could slide over an entire like the same amount of like the table's so wide. He has like a light box built into it off to the right. I think you could slide over, utilize the light box, and then slide back to the regular drawing surface, if I'm remembering it correctly. Saul, what's up, man? Almost second rate, right? Yeah, I wish I had space to even fit a huge drafting table, but maybe, you know, in the future fantasy scenario when I'm in a much better economic situation and living situation. Oh well, I'm fortunate to have what I've got. I'm not complaining really. Just there's always something better, right? Watch, Gingerbread, watch. It'll probably be someone else I was thinking of, but I'm almost certain it's Frank Cho. All right, man. Yeah, enjoy your long commute home after the gym. Good times, right?
pharmacist or vaccine expert. So know what you need? We can help. We provide HPV, hepatitis B, and more vaccines 7 days a week with teaching hours. So you can keep being the function expert. Smith, a world of care is in store.
This page made you want to read Ronin again? That's awesome. So I've never actually seen that book outside of like online comic reviews and shit like that. Yeah, Mike, you know what's up. That's the one. Shatterstat. Ah, we knew what you meant. There's no judgment for fat finger or microscopic misspelling here. HM Ronan is great, weird as fuck, like Mobius meets Akira and has a coke overdose. Mike, you will say weirdly you really like how Rob draws knees nowadays. I can't say I've ever paid attention, but now I'll have to make an effort to pay attention to that. Mike, when you were a teen, when the trade was out, you got it from the library, and your dad read it and got mad there was nudity in it. Son, where'd you get this depravity? Like the library. It's a comic book. I'm actually not sure how my dad would have reacted. I guess it would have depended on the age I was. Yeah. Panda, what's up, dude? Did you leave a comment on Liefeld's new YouTube channel video, Panda? Did I see that right? No, it was somebody else. I'm sorry. It was a similar name. Sorry, I know that probably sounded weird. You're like, what? You were 13? Okay. Yeah. I don't know. My oldest boy's about to turn 13, and I guess I wouldn't want him to see certain things yet. He's got his whole life ahead of him to get corrupted. Not that nudity is a corruption, but you know what I mean. Alright. Well, when I can't use my electric pencil sharpener to shave my pencil down to a fine enough point, it's time to let it go. Panda, there was a one shot that came out from Image in the late 90s called Chicks. That doesn't sound familiar to me at all. Had a bunch of hot girls drawn in it. Your dad found it and threw it in the trash. Aww. Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar to me at all. God, I've got kind of a... He found a copy on eBay. Showed him. Kind of made a compositional goof up with having his foot disappearing right by his head here. Not sure. I don't know. It's a bad compositional choice. But hey, if I'm trying to do a Liefeld homage, bad compositional choices are okay, right?
Hey, Grant, an old thing I love about the Big Boy Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that PEEN Smokehouse Barbecue Sauce.
Oh. Excuse me. Oh. Yeah, Panda, I think social media is terrible for children. Like, I'm not letting my kids touch it, like social media where you can interact with other people. My kids get to watch YouTube and that's it. There's no Facebook or TikTok or Snapchat or anything like that. I think it's bad for most people in general anyway. Um, yeah, but I agree. Yeah, I know there's a lot of bad stuff on YouTube, but me and my boy's mom, my ex-wife, we kind of keep on top of it as much as possible. Not worried about anything yet. There's a lot of horrible, mind-blowing shit out there that I don't want my sweet, innocent little boys exposed to yet. Taxi to speech sucks. I knew what you meant. Afterwards, you try to write, you don't know how to spell them. I get that. I hate it when I'm not sure how to spell a word, so I'm trying to use my phone to get autocorrect to give me the correct version, and even autocorrect can't decipher what I'm trying to put down. It's like, I don't know what you're doing. Son of a bitch. Your autocorrect is like, I can help you, but you need to help yourself a little too. Right. Have I ever been on web novel? Lots of interesting story. If you're asking me, I know. I have no idea what that may or may not be. What in the hell? Lead keeps breaking on my pencil. Lots of fanfic. You know, my problem is, I mean, I'm not proud to say, like, I don't read a lot of novels or anything like that. I have read some that had me completely engrossed, but I don't know. I think it would be hard to go onto a place where there's just infinite numbers of fan fictions, sorting through them, trying to find one I think I'd be interested in, and then be willing to divert enough time to sit down and give it an actual read to see if it's actually any good. I can just see myself not having the time, especially when it's fan fiction. That being said, I have a fan fiction. Anybody who's interested, buy my comics. I'm very hypocritical. Anybody else start following Liefeld's new YouTube channel? Put up his first video today. Yeah, Liefeld started a YouTube channel. It's basically him doing his Robservations podcast just live, or like you could see him talking. Yeah, Panda. I saw someone leave a comment, and I thought maybe it was you. It was a name I recognized, but now I can't think of what it was. But somebody said, I wish you would draw more backgrounds in the comment section. I'm like, oh, he's going to block the piss out of you? He's going to see that and not stand for that for one moment. Yeah. I was like, whoever you are. See, the way YouTube works, I think, because I've tried to block one or two people because they're just being pieces of shit. I think you can block them so that their comments can't be seen by anybody. But they could still watch it, and they could still type a comment, but I don't know if it tells them that, yeah, you can type this, but no one can see it. Panda. That wasn't me, but I wish it was. You are my spirit animal. I should bust out my phone and... Oh, he doesn't have a... Yeah, no. Let's see. Let me find it here right quick. A lot of videos about him. You'd think it would just come right up. You type in Rob Liefeld, a lot of my videos pop up. Maybe he'll see my stuff and then yell at me. God damn it, why can't I find this? Here we go.
I'm a genuine article, that's who you're talking with.
Yeah, everyone's so far just a big fan of his. Let me see if I can find if that comment is still on there. Oh yeah, there it is. It's the real Mooper San. He comments on my stuff. He literally wrote, "I wish you'd draw more backgrounds in your work." I'm like, oh my god, that's so great. But yeah, his video's got 1,400 views and he's got 500 subscribers as of today. That's great. Blocked! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, oh, he ain't gonna take that. But I appreciate his the balls to do that. I'll have to mention it to him whenever I see him posting somewhere. Backgrounds are overrated, right? I've been saying that for years. Only chucklehead assholes draw backgrounds, as I have a page that's purely blank. But in all honesty, that really does frustrate me. Some of these guys were making bank in the 90s, but refused to give us some backgrounds or any setting for that matter. Yeah. And I'm not even one of those guys where, like, there has to be elaborate, perfect, flawless backgrounds in every panel. No, there doesn't. If your art is beautiful and it's just awesome, a little bit of background here and there to kind of keep the setting is all I care about. Like, just give us a sense of where people are at. Not asking for too much. Mr. Leinfeld's like, no. No to all of the above. You know, you bring up an interesting point that I feel like I need to bring. I don't need to do anything, but you know, people shit on Liefeld for hiding feet, and I'm like, that's honestly not a thing, and it hasn't been for a long time. There was a small period, yes, where he was making a very specific effort to hide feet, but everyone complained about it so much. I feel like he very specifically. Like makes an effort to not do that anymore, and it shows. Like if you look at his stuff, you can like pinpoint a panel here or there, but it's not like this blatant thing all over the place at all. It's actually it's just not even a thing anymore. HM, you're reading Ross Andrews' Spider-Man, and his backgrounds are incredible. You believe Spider-Man influenced Miller's Daredevil? I don't think I've ever seen that. Another in the long list of things I should probably pick up at one of these points. I mean, HM, that's actually legitimate. I'm trying to be devil's advocate a little bit in both ways. He's been the butt of so much vitriol for so long. Even, you know, when it's coming along in places where it's not even necessarily accurate, I could see a guy just fucking having enough. He's like, you know what? I absolutely have had enough of this shit. Everyone can go fuck themselves. And I actually see that as being a valid kind of response. But I think he takes it so far. He insults people who are actually on his side. And then he's become such a cranky old fart. It's like, well, I've had enough of this shit. Art is in the eye of the beholder. Is that what you're saying? It is. It absolutely is. There's also a certain point where you're like, dude. And for me, it's not even anymore like Liefeld's rendering style or his anatomy. It's like his storytelling choices. It's like that last review I did of his new Youngblood. It's like, we've seen all of this. It's a team standing around looking cool. They jump out of a plane. They punch people. The bad guy's never really properly introduced. It's not the drawing as much as it is the storytelling choices that are just so baffling. Insane Howl Cowl. I don't know why I love that name. Have you ever heard of Astonishing X-Men Xenon Genesis? Gotta be the worst art of Emma Frost I've ever seen. I've heard of it, but I don't know anything about it. You say the worst art of Emma Frost you've ever seen? Now I gotta look it up. Let's make it a group project. Astonishing X-Men Xenon Genesis. She looks like she's made out of ice cream. Is that from that book? I don't know what's going on. Emma Frost looks ridiculous. I don't know what she's doing or what's going on in the background. The background art's kind of interesting, but that's just weird. Huh. Yeah, I mean, Emma Frost, you know, the whole character's visual identity was supposed to be like super hot, sexualized. What in the titty fucking... What the saggy, droopy... That's really weird. Yeah, I've never seen this. It's so weird to see the comic book characters that I, have such an affinity for being changed in such a drastic way that it doesn't even resemble anything that I recognize anymore. But that's just the nature of corporate comics. Mike McMahon. Frank Quietly's Emma is atrocious. To be fair, Mike, Frank Quietly has never drawn an attractive woman in a single comic book page he's ever drawn. Ever. He doesn't draw attractive figures. Everyone's got like this weird, grotesque look to them, even if it's like supposed to be a heroic shot, in my opinion. I'm trying to remember the first place I ever saw his work. It might have been that X-Men run that you're talking about, but everyone looks weird and distorted, and not distorted, it's just his rendering style, but like no one looks hot. You know, if you were to draw like Psylocke, you know, traditionally known as Super Sexy Babe, like she would look interesting and clear storytelling and a lot of like emotional content in the line work, but the last thing she would be is sexy. Yeah, that's just Frank Quiet. It's so weird. Lumpy, yeah. Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's something I noticed about Frank Quietly's work. I was like, this guy makes everybody looks weird and like some monstrous version. Um, yeah. His line work looks like cellulite. It does. Yeah, they always look like they're battling like weight loss issues or something. It's just lumpy and strange. But God, does he make it clear and detailed? And so he's one of those artists where I very much would say that he doesn't fit anything. You know, some artists I feel like I would get anything they draw, but some artists just are not built to draw certain things. And I'm trying to think of an example. Like, would I want to watch or read a Mark Silvestri drawn Archie and Jughead? Maybe if it's filled with Betty and Veronica. I don't know. That's a terrible example, but yeah, yeah, totally solid. He makes weird looking, lumpy, yeah, weird stuff. Yeah, we three. Oh my God, wasn't it so great? Um, I feel like there was like story points in that book that were just going over my head. That I'm just like, I feel like there's something being said here that I'm not getting. But man, was it great. But yeah, and I'm like you. I'm a kid of a child of the '80s. You said, you know, I like my comic book women to look hot, but I also don't. You know, I'm not looking for them to look offensively objectified. But there's a balance, and of course, if you're drawing a titty book like a sex book, then objectify them, whatever. But you know, I feel like to me the one that's the defining one in my early childhood was Jim Lee's female figures in X-Men. It's like I've never seen female figures drawn that beautiful in a comic book before, but they never crossed the line of being, you know, like insultingly objectified. Uh, but yeah. And then Silvestri comes along and he just starts like he's like, "Oh, you want to see hot girls in comics? Hold my beer." Master Dragon, why do I have to be in a location that says I get to watch your lives at 10 p.m.? Is that what time it is where you're at? Is it 10 p.m. where you're at? Where would that be? It's, what time is it? Actually, oh, it's like coming up on 8:30 my time, so yeah, I guess that's not too. I guess I thought it was earlier. Oh yeah, Gaten, sorry, I saw you chime in earlier. I don't know if I said hi. Didn't mean to do that. But Daniel Gonzalez as well, also, how are you? What's up, everybody? Yeah, I did see a chime in there, though, Mr. Someone saying. Damn it. I keep breaking my goddamn leads. These pencils. It's like they're hard leads, but they're brittle. And I'm not like rough on my pages. It's coming along. I hope, I guess. Panda, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've been working with Chuck Gibson, former inker for Wildstorm, Image Comics and CrossGen and things like that. He's working on pages. Everything is first dibs for him, up until he, until he doesn't want to, you know what I mean? So I've inked 2 pages. We kind of talked about, I was like, do you want me to ink a couple just to help, you don't have to feel like you have to do everything. And It's like, yeah, you can, you know, if you want to help keep on track, you can ink a couple here and there. And he's like, he'll just kind of take what he wants. So I just decided I'm just going to pencil the whole thing out to the end and let him have the pick of everything that he wants to do. And yeah, he's got 3 or 4 pages already completely done, and several in like stages of completion. In fact, he was doing a live stream the other day where he took several panels from some different pages and put them onto he printed them out on Blue Line and was actually inking by hand. And he's like, Rob's drawn some pages that I can't exactly show on YouTube because they're very adult. So he's like, so I grabbed a few panels that I can actually show. And he was doing traditional inking, like inking by hand, which is, I think, is awesome. You know, his stuff looks great either way. George Houston, have I ever drawn for DC or Marvel? No, I am a nobody. I'm just a guy just drawing comics at home and, you know, hoping that one day I can make a little money at this. Nate! Yeah, we know it, not safe for work pages. When I got a monster running around with the dick hanging out, and I got girls doing things to severed body parts. I should post the uncensored versions on the Discord, which someone's saying just put up a link to. I should do that. Like, this is what's coming. Get it. Yeah, Jaro knows what's up. Like, we know, Rob. We know. Everyone's horrified and disgusted, Rob. We're all just waiting to see how far you'll take it. Gotta reposition the blades. I feel like I gotta make sure they look like they're coming out of the back of the guy here, not like his shoulders. I'm gonna pencil in the swords bursting out of his back elsewhere. Yeah, Panda, Discord. It's just it's a free thing. I mean, you have to sign up. I think you have to like provide an email and things like that. But I've never gotten any like spam mail or anything like that. You just join it, and it's just a forum that you can only go to where invited, and people just, like for mine, people just talk art and, you know, share work and talk about projects. There's been some collaborative efforts that got together. People giving advice and criticisms, and it's a good bunch of people. And then there's places where we can, like, you know, this is the not safe for work forum, so you can post, you know, stuff of that nature. Yeah, Daniel, I'll have to post those up for sure. Sheldon, where did I sleep? In my uncomfortable bed. Yeah, but yeah, he shared the link. And obviously, everyone's welcome. Um, I know I do this every time, but I'm like, I think someone sane suggested it, and he could correct me probably for the 100th time if I'm wrong. But it never occurred to me, but it's turned out to be a good idea. I don't post on there as often as I should, because I'm usually focused on, like, if I'm not at work, I'm thinking about I got to do something for my channel, and if not that, I got pages to work on. But I try to drop in there often enough. George Houston, I've seen it come up in my feed, but I haven't had a chance to watch it. But I am curious. Deadpool is Marvel's Jesus. I mean, yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, Deadpool, Marvel, Jesus. I mean, it sounds like something he would say. Yes, someone said, fairly sure at this point you had originally suggested it, and I think one or two others were probably like, Rob, yeah, you should do that. It was a good idea. Oh, Nate, I don't know what we'd do without your trolling. I love you, man. Yeah, HM, I know about Joe Kelly's run on Deadpool. As I understand it, he's the one who gave him the fourth wall breaking. I might be in the minority here, but I don't care for the fourth wall breaking bullshit. I get sick of it, specifically in the comics. But I know that's like a defining characteristic for him now. My favorite version of Deadpool is just the basic, simplistic version that Liefeld introduced, honestly. And part of that's fueled by the fact that I just feel like Deadpool's just been done to death. I'm kind of sick of hearing about him. That being said, I absolutely love that last movie, but I've had enough, and I don't care for the fourth wall breaking, so I just like it when he was a silent assassin that showed up and was a pain in the ass and, you know, a really good fighter, kind of a mysterious dude. But that's just me. Yeah, see, Sheldon, you love the fourth wall break. I get it. I do. It's not a fourth wall breaking thing that makes. It's just the overuse of Deadpool. You know what I mean? He's just everywhere. Like Deadpool, you can't do everything. And do you feel like Deadpool's definitely milked to death category like Batman? Yeah. You say Joe Kelly used it more cleverly than it used to. That's interesting. Yeah, obviously I've never read him. Um, if I, if I found a collection of them somewhere, I might be willing to pick it up and give it a fair shot. You digging that Bond flamenco style? Yeah, it was kind of cool. I found this guy that just is like this masterful, Hispanic guitar player, and he plays all these themes and stuff. He's really good. Deadpool and the Rick Remender's X-Force. I think I read that, ATM. I'm almost positive. Wasn't that the run drawn by, what's his name, Jerome Opeña? Is that the one where they went to go... They ended up in a story where they ran into like a child version of Apocalypse and they were going to kill him, and Deadpool was the one that had a moral problem with it? Yeah, I do remember that. That story point stuck out um, big time. And I thought it was interesting. Deadpool's like a soulless killer, but he's like, I ain't killing a kid. And I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. I'm into that. Yeah, it's one of those runs where I read it and I enjoyed it, especially on the art. But I thought the story was interesting, and I've got those books somewhere. I will run into them eventually.
Like a good neighbor.
Whoa. Yeah, Panda. This is the scene in The Mask of Zorro with Antonio Banderas when they're doing the whatever the dance style is called. Yeah, it's just covered by this guitarist, so it's not like the same exact music, but it's the same theme from Zorro. One of my favorite movies. Good ear. Yeah, they don't make cool swashbuckling heroes anymore. It doesn't seem like it, does it? Yeah, Antonio was great as Zorro. I love it. 13th Warrior, great movie. That one come out of nowhere, and it didn't do very well at the box office. It was kind of a bomb, but man, that one's got a lot of replay value for me. Kevin. What's up, dude? Isn't that 13th Warrior, the book, supposed to be like a version of the tale of Grendel? Like the original story, not the Matt Wagner comic? Because the main Nordic guy, the king, his name was Bolvi, which is almost like a version of Beowulf. Tapas burritos es bueno. Yeah, that CGI Beowulf movie was weird. It was too weird to have much replay value, but the practically naked Angelina Jolie naked monster thing, that was also weird. Yeah, Gerald, the book is a Beowulf retelling, but made out like it was a real historical document reported by the Arab. Yeah. Yeah, now I want to watch the 13th Warrior. It's been a minute. Pandy, you got the Batman Grendel crossover? Well, there's two of them. The first one was my introduction to Matt Wagner, and it speaks to the power of a cover, which is what I said literally in the video. Because his covers to those first Batman Grendel crossovers are some of the coolest looking covers. I was just, as a young guy picking up comics, I'm like, I know Batman, I have no idea what this Grendel guy is, but based on the cover art alone, I want to buy these books. And they were hard to read because the books are told from the perspective of 4 different people, sometimes with narration from 4 different people on the same page. It's kind of hard to get through, especially when you're like a 14-year-old kid reading Youngblood. But it's actually a really good story. I actually prefer the second Batman Grendel crossover to the first. A lot more simple, and it's Batman versus Grendel Prime. Really good stuff. Yeah, Matt Wagner's compositions are dope. He's so good. Like I said, that Batman Grendel is my introduction to Matt Wagner. And then they released a remake of his original Mage series, and at the same time was releasing the second Mage series. So I was picking those both up at the same time, and I became a fan, like a lifelong fan. Yeah, Desperado, right? One of my favorite movies ever. Robert Rodriguez is like, hey everybody, here's Salma Hayek. You're welcome. You will never forget her. Yeah, she was a Fox. Great topless scene, right? Oh, did she have the most perfect everything? Then Robert Rodriguez is like, all right, let's do Dusk Till Dawn. No, Salma, you're not going to have to be naked, but you're going to do the hottest snake dance in the history of ever. And I'm like, to this day, I might say that Salma Hayek's body in that time was like the most perfect representation of a female form I've ever seen ever, anywhere, ever. Like hips, waist, tummy, her hair, her eyes. It's practically perfect in every way. She's Mary Poppins like that. Yeah, I'm sure Tarantino's like, I'm gonna write a foot fetish scene, and then it's like, oh, Salma Hayek's gonna do it. I want to suck on her toes as she pours a beer down her leg into my mouth, and I can't imagine anybody like I'm not. Feet is like a weird thing to me, but Salma Hayek, all right. If I have to, twist my arm, stick your toes in my mouth. Live stream's taking a weird turn. Yeah, right? No chance Tarantino could stand up during that scene. Yeah, probably not. I mean, he's professional, right? He's like, no, I'm fine. Kevin, you were a fan of Neve Campbell, but she kind of dropped off for a while. I think they just announced that she's doing the voice of a character in the next season of X-Men 97, if I read that right. I think she just probably started a family and had enough money to get away and just kind of like, let me enjoy life for a minute. It is weird when you kind of suddenly realize there's somebody who used to be in the limelight all the time and then they just kind of vanished off the face of the planet. I always like to hear that people are like, I've just been enjoying life. I made enough. I can just live comfortably and... HM, thanks. This live was what I needed after watching that shit show that was Section 31. Man, I cannot stand modern Star Trek bullshit and that Discovery nonsense. That Section 31 bullshit. Oh man, I hate what they've done to Star Trek. I couldn't. I got past season 1 of Strange New Worlds, and I'm done. I just, I couldn't get into it. There were some parts I thought were okay, but I'm like, this is just, it drives me nuts. But I get it. And everyone's all like, oh my God, watch Lower Decks. It's so funny. The fuck it is. I watched the entire first season, and I'm like, I didn't laugh once. None of this is funny. These actors and writers think funny in that cartoon means people are screaming at each other all the time. Panda Cameron Diaz did that. She basically said, I'm good. I'm just going to be a homebody and do laundry and whatnot. Yeah. I don't have a problem with Jenna Ortega. She's just the current it girl, but she's actually good.
The real one is enough. Stepping into one circle means becoming part of another.
I need to lose the light box. I think I've done everything with the light box I need. Alright, let's lose the light box. Let's see what atrocities I have done. Alright, let's, yeah. Sheldon, little word question. When you go to the store, do you find yourself in the pen and pencil aisle checking what they got? You know, anytime I'm anywhere where there's writing utensils, like even if it's an office supply store, I'm always looking at what they've got. But obviously, they don't have like art supplies per se. But if I'm in like an arts and crafts store, like a Michael's, which I assume is a nationwide brand, everyone will know. Even if I'm there for, like, I'm not even going there for art supplies. I'm like, I gotta go stop by the art supply area and just see what's there. Like when I was a kid, and every time I'd go to grocery shopping with my parents, I'd be like, can I go to the toy aisle? And they're like, yeah, fuck off, get out of here. Now for me, it's like, I gotta go to the art supply aisle. Panda, if you want to see a good movie, go see Sinners. That one's totally worth it.
Why GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco? From the basic maintenance and repair parts to powertrain components, GM Genuine Parts and AC Delco are the true.
Thanks, Panda. Having fun with it. I'm always trying to like balance, like, am I going too far? Am I over-rendering it? But I think it's working. I gotta just focus on, I gotta draw the sword blowing out of his back. But I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm trying to make, of course, I'm always trying to do the best work I could possibly do. Just in case, in the random happenstance that somehow Liefeld saw the book, he might say, I looked up the guy's YouTube channel. He's a piece of shit. But the book looked cool. I'd be like, oh, yes. All I wanted to hear. Adam Brooke, yeah, what's up, man? Still didn't get those placed right. Yeah, Liefeld would never talk to me. And that's fine. So I'm not a kiss ass, so he would never entertain a conversation with me, and that's fine. I don't care. I would do it, though. I would do it. Get Liefeld on the stream and be like, I hate so many things about, so much about the things you choose to be.
Hit pause on whatever you're listening to and hit play on your next adventure.
Well, thanks, Adam Brooks. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. I really do. I never would have thought I'd be sitting here drawing and having a conversation long term with a bunch of people who've been following me for a while and making connections and friendships. I do appreciate it. I mean, I've been able to also like make connections with like, I'm trying to think, 3 or 4 like people who are professionals either currently or formerly in the comics industry. That makes it even more interesting as well, to get to chat up people who actually do the work or have done. Oh, shit.
Choosing the right home insurance can be confusing. That's why State Farm has local agents to help you understand your options.
Contact State Farm agents PEEN and Jake.
Yeah, that was still Star Trek music. This still is too. Yeah, Jaro, once you start filling in the blacks, sometimes I just leave it open like that because, you know, sometimes I feel like it's clear enough. Inker guy can figure it out for sure, but sometimes I'm like, I need to blacken it in just so I can kind of see what everything's looking like. So it's just a light pencil, not needing to go too dark. But yeah, it's kind of neat to see it kind of come together and seeing what it's becoming. Get this. So what's up here? There we go. Yeah, the Star Trek movie with the whales. It's great. But all the original cast ones are, in my opinion, great. Even the ones people want to tell me are bad. Okay. I think I'm shutting down here. Got far enough. I just gotta finish up this hand and forearm connecting it to the stabby sword part, but I think we got enough in here for now. Once again, it's getting late and I gotta get up and go to stupid work again. I have yet to win the lottery. Let's bust out the tape. Yeah, can't really show them side by side. But anyway, you can kind of see what I started with and what I've ended up with. lot more blood. We're all grown with lame 9-to-5 jobs trying to be artists. Yeah. It is what it is. Okay, done and done. Appreciate it, everybody, as usual. And I'll catch everyone on the next one.